Okay, go.
Well, if nothing else, it is such a pleasure to be with you, Sister Michelle. I'm Jean Lockett.
It's a pleasure to be with you too. I am Michelle Israel. Um, we are planning, well, I'm the helper. Sister Jean wanted to plan a sisterhood conference, a women's conference, and I volunteered to help because that's the gift that God gave me. I'm a helper. I help and I organize and I make people look good.
Yes, definitely. So
Okay.
you're saying me, but it's a we. Yes, it
Yeah.
is. It
Yeah.
is a we. Because I appreciate the fact that the one thing that you said that I've found to be so touching is I want to be able to help a vision come true.
Yes.
And
I love that.
yeah,
I absolutely
yeah,
love that.
yeah.
So we decided to come together and have a conversation. We had a really great conversation earlier, and we was like, we should have recorded that.
We should
So
have,
here
right?
we are. We're doing it again. Of course, it's going to
Yeah,
be different because we're not going to say the same things, but because we are who we are and we work for the Most High God, we work for who we work for, the conversation is going to be better.
yes.
So and as we talked, we came up with with questions. The first question is this conference a fundraiser?
And the response to that is no. It's not a fundraiser. This is not about raising money for anything. It is about bringing forth an awareness. It's about us coming together, especially us as women, being able
Mhm,
to express and be informed and learning how to open up and release
mhm,
those things that a lot of us or some of us may have deep down inside that we
mhm,
really never had that comfort zone
mhm.
or that place or that space where we
Right,
can just open up and say, hey, this is
right,
me without the judgment,
right,
right?
mm,
That makes us feel bad
right.
as a person.
And I
Yeah.
must also say, it's also not about either of us trying to pull sisters away from their place of worship or their Bible classes. It's not about that at all. We're not trying to start an organization. We're not trying to start a church. We're not trying to start anything other than have a space. And hopefully it can be on a regular basis where sisters can meet somewhere and just have honest um, conversations with each other in order to grow.
Because we really need that. We need to be able to have a safe haven,
Yes.
whatever that place may be, a
Yeah.
safe haven to be able to say, look, I messed up. Look, this is on
Yeah.
my heart.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to let this loose. And I know when I do this, I'm in a circle of people
Mm-hmm.
who's not seeing me as this horrible person, but seeing
Mm-hmm.
me as this person that is a person of need.
Right. And your response brought this question to mind: the fact that we say all the time, I hear it all the time, and I've even said it, that women can't. I don't trust women. Why can't we trust each other?
You know what? There has been so much betrayal and so much hurt that has gone on when it came. And let me tell you something. People feel this even because maybe mama wasn't in my life,
Mm-hmm.
or mama did this, or my sister did that, or my best friend done this. And so we have a lot of hurt that is in the midst, and we feel as though we can't trust each other.
Yeah.
And we have to come to an understanding that when we are in relationship with the Most High, when we're in relationship with Him, it's not so much of me trusting you as me trusting what's in you. And
Absolutely.
we as a whole have to come to that place to know that we
Mm-hmm.
are really truly in relationship with Him
Yeah.
for individuals to be able to trust us. Because
Right.
whether we realize it or not, we trust women all the time. We got to deal with them one
Right.
way or another.
One way or
But
the
we need
other.
to know how to be confident and to be able to discern who I can trust in and who I can't trust in.
Right.
And that's what another part of this conference is all about, us
Right.
being able to come together as women, truly.
And two things that we have to get past, that we have a hard time getting past as women. One is she hurt my feelings.
Hmm.
Either in a text message, in person, a phone call, email, however it happened. She hurt my feelings. So I don't trust whatever she said. And the other thing is, I don't want your man. Honestly. A lot
But
of
you know
women
what?
don't trust each other because we're fearful that somebody else wants our man. But I'm telling you, if it's your man that God sent you, ain't no way I'll be able to take him from you. And I don't want to take him from you anyway. That's your
But you
man.
know what? But
I want my own man.
right, and you do have
We have that.
individuals or women who are harlots or they're
Yeah.
wicked. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
We do
And
have it,
that's where,
unfortunately.
yeah, she does
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah, she does
But
exist.
that is the reason why our own confidence within ourselves and in our relationships really
And with the
truly.
Most High God, because if the little
But
Most High
that's the
God sent
key.
you that man, then can't nobody take him from you because God sent him. If he go, it's because God made him go, or whatever that looks like. We
But
gotta
then
trust more in God.
that's right. But that also goes with a line of insecurity.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
is there a line of insecurity that puts you in that discomfort zone? Is there
hmm
something
hmm
that your spouse has done to make
Yeah,
you
it could
feel
be that.
uncomfortable?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you something, a lot of that comes with a lack of communication.
Yes.
You know,
That's
even when
exactly what it is.
yes, when you stated earlier, when you was
hmm
talking about the text message or the conversation, sometimes people can just take things wrong, you
Yep.
know, and that's the reason why serious conversation shouldn't be done via a
Text
text message,
message. And the
right?
other thing is we cannot be afraid to speak up. If
No,
you hurt my feelings in a phone call, email, in person, or text message, I need to have enough confidence in me and God to talk to you about that. I need to say,
that's
sister,
so true.
I was really uncomfortable with that message that I got from you on my voicemail. And this is why it made me uncomfortable, and give you an opportunity to explain yourself. Because what I have learned in teaching online is that when I receive a text message from students or an email from students or even a voicemail, I can misunderstand that in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
In a
that is so
heartbeat.
easy.
So
Yeah,
before I take whatever the message said to heart, I conversate with that student or that sister if I'm talking about it to a friend, and to just make sure that I didn't misunderstand. And if I did misunderstand, to give you an opportunity to explain.
yeah, because we can. You say that, Sister Michelle, but I've actually had that to happen, and a person wouldn't respond to me,
Mhm.
and finally we had an opportunity and we had a chance to talk, and
Yeah,
it was like, well, I felt this way about this particular
yeah,
conversation, and I was like, well, sweetheart, whatever you do, if I ever say something or do something that makes you uncomfortable, please come to me. And
mhm,
when we had the opportunity of talking, you know, that individual had an opportunity to understand where I was coming from. It's like, you know, I really took that wrong. I'm like, yeah, you did.
yeah, yeah,
And so I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to hurt no one,
yeah.
you know, but communication is key.
It's key.
And what we need to stop doing is seeking answers from other people
Yeah,
based upon what, if that hurt you, there's a possibility it can hurt somebody else, or
yeah,
you explaining it could make a
mhm,
person feel like, yeah, they was wrong for that,
yeah,
but you didn't give that person an opportunity to explain themselves,
mhm,
and that person didn't hear both sides. And if you don't
yes.
hear both sides of a story, you should never ever make a decision.
And then if I offend you, no, there's no way you should go to so and so and say, Sister Michelle, she offended me. She said so and so. Come to me.
That's
Talk to me.
I stress that. If I'm the issue, if
Talk
I'm
to
the one you have
me.
the problem, you come to me. Please come
And
to me.
the scriptures say in Matthew, I'm not good at quoting where they are, but I know it's there in Matthew somewhere. The scripture says if you have an art with your brother or sister, then you
Mhm.
go to that person and you try and
That's
work
right.
that out.
That's right.
If you
That's
belong
right.
to the same organization, the same church, then if you can't work it out, then you call in an elder. And in
That's right.
these situations, I would prefer to call in an elderly sister.
That's right.
Well,
That we'll be able to hear.
we are elders, so we got to call in a peer, a third. We got to call in the third person.
Yes,
We're on the same mindset. Oh goodness,
yeah.
that was funny. I'm sorry.
But that's a good one though, and it is.
Yeah,
And so and what you're saying is very key. If I
yeah.
have a problem, if I have an R with them, and if that's what the
Hmm.
word says, and if that's what we're living by,
Yeah,
that's what we should do,
that's what we
right?
should do.
We should
Yes,
go to our
all
brothers
the elders.
and make it
Yeah,
right, or and make it better,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
And if the elderly sister can come in and we work our situation out, then we call in some brothers, whoever's in charge of wherever we
right,
worship. Then we can call them in. But it shouldn't even get past that.
it
It should
shouldn't.
stop
It shouldn't.
with the two of us. We shouldn't have to
Yeah.
call in a third person. It should stop right here.
Because whatever it was that may have um caused that misunderstanding, I'm going to hope that that's what it is.
Yeah,
We should be able to resolve it
we
one for
should be
another,
able to.
especially if we both believe that we believe in the Messiah.
Exactly.
If we
Exactly.
both believe in the Father, there's no
It
way in
should
the
stop
world we
right
should
here.
be able
Yeah.
to fix that. And again, these are things and even though in the conference we're talking about singleness, we're talking about marriage, and we're talking about parenting,
Hmm.
getting in all of those facets is a development of even what we're talking about right now,
Yeah.
because it helps individuals to know how to live single, and
Yeah.
when you don't, how to come to other individuals to ask for
Yeah.
help,
Hmm.
and when receiving that help, not taking it personal.
Exactly. Which
Mhm.
brings me to another question, which is, what difficult conversations do sisters need to have with each other? And why is it so hard for us to have those hard conversations?
But it takes us back to, there are sometimes people have shared some personal stuff with people and they went back and told somebody else, or
Hmm.
they went back and told the person that the person is talking about. That brings about a lack of trust,
Hmm.
right? And we need to know and understand that confidentiality is confidentiality. And
Confidentiality.
yes, and if you're sharing something with me, and
Hmm.
maybe you need to share with that person,
Right.
it's my responsibility is to help you understand why you need to let that person know.
Yes. And the other thing
Trust
is,
it.
sometimes we are insecure in
Mhm.
ourselves. So it's difficult to have the painful conversations because we don't want anybody to think of us in a bad light.
And you know what? That's just that's really something that is so very strong that we, as especially as women, need to get over, because
Yeah.
people gonna see you. I don't care how good you
They're
may
going to see you how
present.
they see you.
People gonna see you how they see you.
Many
They may
times I
see
have
the
learned,
bad, they may see
and
whatever.
I'm telling you what, if somebody sees me in a bad light, I have learned that it is useless, fruitless to try to explain. I just sit back and wait because,
Well, you got a lot of things that go with that. You got
yeah,
hatred, you got jealousy,
yeah,
you know. Some people, for whatever reasons, feels like I don't want you shining more than me. And
yeah,
this ain't about you or me.
yeah,
All of the glory goes to the Father,
hmm,
right? And
yeah,
anything that is being said or done is so that He is glorified. And so
hmm,
when we make it personal about
hmm,
ourselves,
hmm,
um, and that's when we allow the enemy to come in. And even as we had talked earlier, that's one of the problems, is that we don't know the enemy. When
right,
you not aware of the trickery, the schemes that he's
hmm,
able to bring confusion. The Bible
hmm,
said he's not the author of confusion.
that's
So
right,
we bring in the confusion, it
right,
causes us to have that dismay,
yes, hmm,
right? And
yeah,
then if we as women really knew our strength and knew how
hmm,
to apply our strength to everyday life, whether it is being single, married, or parenting,
Mhm.
being a friend, being a daughter. When we learn how to do those things, then we can overcome a whole lot of
Whole
obstacles.
lot of obstacles. A
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
obstacles.
We become our
And
own
what we
worst
do
enemies.
as women, we were made to be helpmeets. And in being a helpmeet, we have the power to persuade. And
But we want to be able to do that
yeah, because we said
positively.
earlier,
Yeah,
you said that is a phrase that we always hear, shake what your mama gave you. Well,
oh
mama
my
didn't
goodness.
give you that, right?
Right.
Our daddy
Everything
did,
that was done is
and
God.
he didn't give
He
it to you for
said,
that
I
reason.
carefully and wonderfully created you. He made
Exactly.
you. And with that being said and done, we want to throw off a better image of ourselves, and we're
Mhm.
wondering why we're constantly being hurt. And even as in this conversation, individuals can hear, and
Yeah.
even we're coming out to the conference, being able to share and fellowship and being able to hear other people's thoughts,
Yeah,
right?
I'm looking forward to all we need is 12 women, right? But I'm looking forward to a room full of 12 or more women, young or old, coming together and having these difficult conversations because they help us to grow and be better. And we know that we're
Yes.
not in this by ourselves. We're not alone.
Ooh, you hit something. That right there is so key because so many individuals feel like they're by themselves. Like
Yes,
nobody else is going through what I'm going through. No one else
yes.
is encountering what I'm encountering. And
Mm-hmm.
women need to know you are not by yourself.
Because somebody, many sisters are going through the same thing.
Going through the same thing. And if we really truly learn how, and like we said, this is not about building an organization. This isn't about raising money. This isn't about awareness. And this is about being able to hear others' perspective.
Hmm.
And guess what? There might be something that you may be able to help me with. There's something I
Hmm.
might be able to help you with. But if we just learn how to really know how to love each other,
Hmm.
one of the things the enemy do not want to do is for us to be on one accord.
He does not.
He don't want us to be on one accord.
Because every time it seems like we are being or are getting on one accord, what does he do? He brings something in,
Something to
some
somebody in, don't
situation, some small thing, and there's the breach. And now we
and
have this big problem where you're over there and I'm over here, and we can't seem to get it back together.
and you know what? That then comes in with pride. And that's one of the
Hmm.
things the Father hates. He hates
Yeah.
pride. It's no
Hmm.
way in the world, if we're serving the same Father, that we're unable to come together to make
Yeah.
something happen.
Yeah.
It's just, it's uncalled for.
It,
And
it's
one of the key
uncalled for.
things is love. And
Hmm.
love says, I don't want to be away from you. Love doesn't want to hate you. Love doesn't
Yeah.
want disappointment or all of
Yeah.
that. And people say oftentimes they have that cliche when it says women can't come together. But
Hmm.
I see a lot of women come together and
Coming
make it happen.
together, especially outside of Israel. I mean, what's wrong with us? You know what I mean? We are
We can
afraid
make it
that
happen.
there's a scripture that says a woman should be silent in the church, right? So
Mm.
for a lot of people, it means that we can't teach each other anything. Well, Proverbs 27 and 17, I believe, it talks about iron sharpening iron.
And
You
we're
know,
able to
you're
do that.
strong in the word, I'm strong in the word, she's strong in the word. So we're going to sharpen each other, and you're going to keep me strong, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that we're able to walk together,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Yes.
because we can't allow the blind to lead the blind. We
No.
need individuals who's able to say, look, hey, let's
Mm.
make this happen,
Right.
right? We
Right.
need individuals to be able to be in a place, in a position of being able to say, I got your back,
Right. Right.
and really truly mean that.
And mean that.
Because guess what? I need you.
Yeah.
If it is to that point where I'm having a bad day, it's
Hmm.
not so much of wanting to whine and cry about it,
Hmm.
but being able to say, man, I can call my sister, say, look, I was just having a rough time. And
Yeah.
you able to tell me, look, everything is okay. We can pray
Hmm.
together and we can have an understanding.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all it takes is
Hmm.
just for a word to come. And what I do I don't know if I'm going to say this correct. What I would like to see, I guess I should say it that way,
Mhm.
is us not saying, I don't want to always keep it spiritual. We
What else
have
is
to
it
keep it
though? In my
spiritual.
opinion, and it's just my opinion, what else is there?
Well, he said to be carnally minded is death, and to be spiritual minded is like peace and life. So we want to be able to keep that. We can't set him aside. We can't
No.
avoid him. He
Yeah.
always has to be in the midst of it. And that's
Yeah.
the only way we're going to be able to get our strength, because if we're not leaning on him, then
Mhm.
we're dependent on the enemy.
And because
There's one
everything
or the other.
about us is spiritual, even down to what we eat.
Yeah.
Everything about us is spiritual. So I don't see how to separate our lives, our daily lives, from the lives that say we live on the Sabbath day, right? On the Sabbath is not the only day to walk in that spiritual realm.
We got to
We're
do it
supposed to
every
walk in
single
that
day.
every day. Every
Every
day.
day is of an importance. And so what we want to be able to do, even with coming out, we want to be able to we want to enjoy each other.
Mhm.
We're going to have fun. We're going to have games. We're going to have, so it's not about anything other than coming together and enjoying one another.
So speak about the conference fee. The conference fee is $90. What's going to happen with that?
Well, actually, the $90 actually only goes for the Saturday night meal, Sunday morning meal, and your Sunday afternoon meal. So
Yeah.
all of that goes for food.
Yeah.
It's for the food. And then they also have like in between things that they're going to be having. And even we're going to have some things
Like
that we're going
tea
to
and
be sharing.
coffee and that
Yeah, so
costs
you're
too.
still going to have, you're going
Actually,
to have all of that.
the conference fee is going to pay for everybody's meal. You're paying for your meal, and there's I think that's like $75. I added it onto the menu in the group. If anybody wants to see that, and add that up, because that's one thing that we don't trust each other with is money.
Oh, we
And
definitely don't.
the other 20, nothing, the other, yeah, $24 that's left over, it's going for prizes and gifts, coffee, tea, and snacks in between. So there is no money left. Gene is not getting any money to do
Not a
anything with,
dime. I
and
don't even
neither
want no
am
money.
I.
Yeah,
So
we don't want money. We
we
don't want
don't
money.
want money.
We want to be able to empower and love on one another.
Yes.
And the other is for your room.
Yes.
We don't
So
have no
yeah,
control over
going.
that.
Yeah. So
But
be
we
sure
do
to book
want
your
y'all.
rooms.
Yes,
Please
but
book
we
your
want to
rooms,
do that before the 6th.
everybody, and
Yeah.
send your conference fee in, because we're going to have some very interesting conversations, very difficult conversations, and we are gonna grow and learn from each other, because we don't know everything. I don't know everything. You know everything, G?
I don't know
I don't
everything.
know everything.
But I do
We're
know
gonna learn from
I know the
everybody
person
who
that
attends.
does though.
Oh, I know. I think I know that person too.
Yeah, I know that person.
Yeah.
And that's
What's
the
that
reason
guy?
why he drops little nuggets here and there, and then bring us together so that we all can just be able to see like, hey, look,
Yeah.
and even as we was talking a while ago, we was talking about the skeletons in the closet, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've all made some
We all
crazy,
have some of those.
dumb decisions.
We over the
Did you not learn how to be single?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't until I actually got married that I really started understanding the importance of singleness,
Yeah.
right? But then
Yeah.
you learn as you go with the bumps and the bruises in your
Mhm.
marriage, and then you're learning things as far as parenting. And
Yeah.
so if nothing else, if we're able to encourage each other, we can also take that and give it to the younger people,
Yep.
so that they don't make the same mistakes that we made. They don't have to go through all of the heartaches and pains that we've been through. We can eliminate some of that. All of us gonna have trials and tribulations.
And let me
That's
say
just
that
life.
you said that, and it brought this to my mind. I've been in this lifestyle. I've been living this lifestyle since 1977, and at that time, we didn't have many elders. The few elderly women that were our elders that were there, they were afraid to talk to us. So us as young women, and there was a lot of young women, we were just kind of hitting and missing, we just tried to learn on our own.
Right.
I'm telling you, in learning on
that's
our
something that
own
we need.
and not being able to hear from the elders, because in Titus,
Titus.
I think it's Titus
Chapter
2.
2.
They said the elder women are supposed to teach the young women. Well, we didn't have that option. We had other women in the Christian church, in the Islamic church, and just out in the world, but we needed a different point of view. We needed some sisters that were elder sisters that knew the word of God, who can help us from that lens, because it's a different lens, a different perspective. So that's another thing that we're trying to do with this. We're trying to bring together some other sisters in our age group who's got the same mindset, bring together younger women so that we can, help each other and learn from each other and teach the young women so that they won't have to make the same mistakes that we did. They don't have to.
Yeah.
If they have a listening ear, they don't have to.
They don't have to, especially if they're willing to apply.
Exactly.
You don't want to just be hearers, but you want to be doers as well.
Exactly.
Right. And once we do that, there are a lot of things we would say. You're saying it, and I'm saying it. Had I had someone to say something different or to teach me, to tell me what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing, that would be different for me. But because I didn't have that, a lot of things, as you said, I learned it the hard way.
Yes. So the conference is September 17th after the Sabbath. So you check in after the Sabbath. We'll start the first session at 7 p.m. But if you want, you can check in early if you like, or even Friday, and enjoy the space. There's a swimming pool. There's other things to do, fitness room in the space, and it'll be a great space to relax and rest on the Sabbath day. And I know one of the speakers, she's probably going to bring her family. So her family, her husband and her son, I believe it's a son, maybe a daughter, they'll be there too, but they won't be a part of the conference. They'll just be in the space. So if you have a family and you would like to bring your family on the Sabbath to enjoy the space before the conference starts, hey, go right ahead. You're paying for your room, do with it what you want.
And that's another thing, because that particular day, you'll be able to go swimming.
Yeah, you can just relax, find your quiet space to read the Bible.
Yes, I mean, and the place is beautiful. So there's so much, that you can do before Sunday coming in and we're getting ready to do the conference. We need that woosah time, as my son would say. That woosah time. Yeah.
To book your room, call 1-800-HILTONS with an S on the end. The deadline to book the rooms at the rates that we have is September 6th. So don't wait. Book your room ASAP. You can book a double queen room for $139. You can book a king bed suite for $129. You could book a king conference suite for $179. Of course, there's taxes and all that. And the conference is being held at the Hilton Garden Inn, Chicago, Oak Brook Terrace, 10 Drury Lane, Oak Brook. We're gonna have a good time.
We are. We're definitely gonna have a good time. Like we said, we're not, every cost that you are doing has nothing to do with us. So we're not gaining nothing from this. And as Sister Michelle stated, if you look on there, you'll see what the meals are going to be, what the cost of those things are. And if you also, as you see in regards to your room. So again, this is just about us coming together, having a nice time. There's more giving than there is receiving in here.
Speaking of giving,
we're receiving too, but you're receiving on the end more.
Speaking of giving, the first, which is already taken, somebody's already the first person, the 5th and the 10th person who complete the registration form, including booking your room will win a special prize. The second and fourth person to pay for the conference in full is going to win a prize. And then the first two people to get 5 more women to come with you is going to get a special prize. So if you have a sisterhood already, collect 5 of them and bring them with you. It'll be a great time for you to bond and for the group of you to bond with other Daughters of Zion. Do you know that there are Daughters of Zion all over the Chicagoland area? Different groups of Daughters of Zion. They literally call their sisterhood groups at their churches and Bible classes and temples Daughters of Zion.
There too.
That's awesome. So
we want to get that word out.
Yes.
We do. Yeah, we want to get that.
There is a $50 Victoria's Secret gift card and a $50 Visa card to the first 2 people who bring 5 more women with them.
Yes.
So I will put all of the information to register for the conference and book your room in the comments of this video. I'll also put the link to the Facebook event page for you to get more information. So with that said, Sister Jean, I think we did it.
I think we did it. And I'm looking forward to seeing each and every last one of you all just come on out. We have some awesome speakers. We're gonna, we have individuals that we're gonna be interviewing that's gonna be talking about those 3 different topics on that day. And so I'm excited. I know Michelle is excited.
I'm excited.
We are excited.
I always get excited.
Guys to get excited and come on out and be with us on that day. And I guarantee you, you're going to be talking about it afterwards. And the other individuals are going to say, I wish I had a cane.
Yeah.
And then we're going to say, we'll be doing it again soon.
Absolutely. I know a sister who makes Daughters of Zion t-shirts and hoodies. I'm going to ask her if she can come and sell us some of her shirts. And speaking of selling, if you are a sister with a business, bring your whatever you sell, the service that you provide, come and share that with us. And there is no vendor fee. Just come, set up a table inside of our conference room, or you can set it up in your room upstairs and we can come up there and buy, but there's no fee for that. So if you have a business, let's share information. Let's share our wares. Let's share your gifts, whatever you make and sell, bring it with you.
So we're excited and we look forward to it. And again, Sister Michelle, I thank you so much for just being the woman that you are, being the help and the support that you have been. And I'm telling you, a lot of this, I could not have done without you.
Thank you, Father, in Jesus' name.
I appreciate you, and I thank the Father for choosing you. And just send out a special love to Deborah, because Deborah also was on the sidelines helping us in regards to finding locations, and her love and support. She's always just been an inspiration when I get ready to do something as well. So
amen
to her. And it's been a beautiful thing. And again, Father's will, we will see you guys September 17th and the 18th.
All right.
For the women's conference.
Awesome. Another question that we came up with earlier, I said change is painful, and Jean had a very good, enlightening response. Jean, why is change painful?
Well, majority of the time, change is painful because we don't want to face it. We don't want to deal with it. But as I often say, change really is not painful. I mean, think about it. And I believe that was Barack Obama, wasn't it? When he came and his thing was change.
Yeah.
When we talk about change, we change our clothes because what we had on, we don't want to be in that again.
And that's a good thing.
And that's a good thing, right?
It's not painful.
We change our shoes to go along with our outfit.
That's a good thing. It's not painful.
Right. So we change jobs because you may have been on this job for 10 years and you feel like, man, this job just stresses me out. And you go get another job
And
but
that's
you're
and that's
happy.
not painful.
That's
You
not
happier.
painful.
Yeah.
So change isn't painful. It's what we stay in that is painful.
Right.
And we don't know how to come out of it. And
And
because we
many
don't know
times we
how to
don't
come
want
out
to
of
come out of that.
and we don't,
We
because
don't want to come out of it.
I believe in keeping things real. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times that's a comfort zone to be
Mm-hmm.
able to say what you're going through and somebody tell you, girl, it's gonna be all right.
Because you can
And
get that
so
sympathy.
the sympathy that and sometimes we're not even aware that
Not
we're
even
looking for
aware.
that,
Mm-mm.
so
Yeah.
we say change is painful, but when the word tells us about renewing our mind and becoming new creatures, that's a change
That's
that has to
growth.
come about,
And you
right?
cannot grow unless you change.
You cannot grow unless you change.
Yep.
You have to change your environment sometimes,
Yeah.
the people
Yeah.
that you deal with. You
Yeah.
have to change your mind about things. You have
Yeah.
to learn how to let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. It's
Mm-hmm.
either yes or no, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
says, choose ye this day whom ye will serve. You
That's
either
right.
gonna serve the Father, you're gonna serve the enemy. But again, like
That's right.
earlier, I was saying, if we don't know our opponent, then how do you know how to press your way through something? How do you know
Absolutely.
how to avoid? Because we don't know how to discern.
Yeah.
So change is not painful.
Yeah.
People, it was another cliche that we had talked about that individuals normally would say. It came in and went right on out of my
I
mind.
forgot completely.
It did. It just came in and just left me.
It'll
But
come back hopefully.
hopefully it will come back as we're having this conversation. But a lot of times especially, and I'm just talking about women because we're dealing with us as women right now. We as women, we don't believe that we deserve
Yeah.
happiness. We don't know. We don't believe that things could change. We believe that because mama said it, grandmama said it, great grandmama said it, that's just the way it has to be. But we have to understand what the word says and apply that to our lives on a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
And we deserve to have joy. We do.
Which brings us to our last question. How does one love herself? And it has nothing to do with going to get a massage, getting your hair done, getting a mani-pedi. How does one love herself?
Those are temporary
fixes,
right? You're sitting there once the massage is over, once you done got your hair done, once you done got your nails done,
and then now what?
Right?
So now what?
And so now we find that we're still bitter, we're still angry, we're still hurting, right? And the comfort only comes from the Father. He says that he is a comforter. He says that he's the healer. He's the deliverer. And until we learn how to apply his word to our lives, we will always be in defeat. Loving ourselves is saying, I'm not allowing others to just hurt me the way they choose to.
And First John says that God is love.
Yes.
He's love.
Yes. He is love. So how do we learn to love ourselves? By learning how to be in that relationship with the Father.
Yeah.
And people feel like that's something that's complicated because you don't see him.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But you don't see the enemy, don't stop him from doing what he do to keep us in that misery. Misery loves company. The
more we tap into his power through prayer, meditating on his word and praising him. And I don't mean not only in a room full of people on Sabbath, but by yourself. Those things, the prayer, the meditating on his word and the praising him in private, that helps you tap in to that love. His love is powerful.
His love is very powerful. Let me tell you something. I was a woman who once was depressed. I was one who tried to commit suicide. I was the one who was trying to find love in all of the wrong places. I was willing to allow others to do whatever it is just so that I can feel that sense of love for the moment. But I learned that the true love is the Father. Right. And when I learned how to understand when yea should be said and when nay should be said, and I learned how to trust in him, even though I may not be able to see them, but I can feel them.
Mhm.
I can be able to decipher, and that right there brought great pleasure to me. So
Yeah.
I've learned how to stand as a woman and know and understand that everything that I'm looking for is not to look for it in man, but to look for it in him.
Right.
And he will use man, whether it's female or male,
That's
to
right.
do whatever is needed in my
That's
life.
right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So he may choose this person to come over here to give me some encouraging words. He
Yeah.
may use this person to come over here to give me some resources.
Yeah.
However it goes, everything comes from him.
Comes from him. That's right.
And that's who we have on.
That's
So
right.
how do you love yourself? You love yourself by wanting and desiring to be in relationship with
Mhm.
love,
Yeah.
which is the Father.
Yeah.
He is love, you know.
Yep. So
And
with that,
once we do that, we'll be fine.
call 1-800-Hiltons to book your room, and you can cash app your conference fee to $J Lockett 213. I'll put all of that in the comments.
Yes.
Book your
And
room, guys.
everything is
Come
in
on, let's
detail.
do this.
Everything is detailed. So you can sit down, you can figure it out, you can
Yep.
count it up. You
Yep.
can say, now, how are they doing something, but yet still they're not trying to obtain any funds? Calculate wherever you think you do,
Yeah.
and you will be able to see. We're not trying to do this
It's not
for
about
money.
money.
It's
Mm-mm.
about relationship, and it's about
Yeah.
building us up one to another.
Yeah.
As the word says, sharp iron sharpening iron. That's
That's
all
right.
it's all about.
Mhm.
And any conference that we're doing, that's all it's about.
Okay.
I've done other conferences, and I never retrieved it. Matter of fact, I put more money into it than it was for that it cost.
Yeah.
So it's good, and we look forward to seeing you
All
guys.
right. All right. Talk to you later, Sister G.
You like